The youth ministry here at Suburban exists for the sole purpose of
sharing Christ with teenagers,
serving God and each other,
seeking Him in worship,
supporting each other as a part of His church,
and stretching each other through small groups.
You know, some of the activities that we have for kids to take part in, obviously, are our weekly programs, from youth group to discipleship groups and student leadership opportunities. But we also do a lot of retreats and service projects and things like that. There's also the monthly community night of worship and things like that that our students can take part of. I also think one of the healthy things that Suburban has is a commitment to God's Word, and students that are plugged in to Suburban are going to be hearing from God's Word every week, and given the opportunity to grow and to wrestle with that on a weekly basis it's huge in the life of a student.
The middle school youth ministry at Suburban is called The Edge. It stands for Encourage, Disciple, Grow, and Equip. We meet Sunday mornings at 11.
Every summer we've taken a different mission trip. We do some with high school students and some with middle school students. The past 3 times that we've taken high school students, we've gone to Mexico to build houses for the poor. You know, it's always great to see our students meeting practical needs in that kind of way and ministering to a people that have far less than they do. We've also taken our middle school students to an orphanage in Idaho a few times to do some work for other kids who are less fortunate than they are, who don't have families or who have family members that are in trouble. To watch our students connect with kids that are just less fortunate has been a really neat experience too. One of the newer programs that we have at Suburban for the youth is our student leadership program. We have anywhere between 8 and 12 students at a time taking part of that team.
Orientation for the incoming freshmen, that was we had a lot to do with that, and we planned like the survival kits and the walks and stuff, so we tried to figure out the easiest way to get all the freshmen, the new upcoming freshmen, plugged into a youth group so they'd feel better and more comfortable about it.
I think one thing that is really awesome about worship is that we get to seek God in worship, and not necessarily an emotional experience or a musical concert or anything like that, but we get to just basically seek God and His character. My other favorite song is Heart of Worship, and I also love the story behind that song, and I think Matt Redman wrote that song, and his church, they had an awesome worship program. The pastors of the church got together and prayed about it and decided that they wanted to really decide to worship God in a way that wasn't just music. And at the end of that month, Matt Redman wrote the song Heart of Worship, and it's just talking about when everything else is stripped away, when all the music and all the drums and all the sound equipment and everything's taken away, that all we have to bring to God is our heart.
Well, our D group does a lot of stuff. We try to do a 1 month, we just try to hang out and invite new people. And we definitely play a lot of Halo video games because we're like that. We eat bacon. Bacon is a part of everything we do. And we play board games. Risk is a big thing, so.
When I came here, you know, I was a little apprehensive about coming to the Mexico trip, but I figured I had nothing else to do, so I might as well come, and I met a lot of good friends. Well, in our old church youth group, we would always play this game called the Wall Game, and it was a lot of fun, and it reminded me because we played it at our last youth group event back in Colorado, and so I decided that I'd play it here.
The D groups and small group ministry of our church is one of the most important things that we do. You know, whereas youth group, you get a lot of like fellowship and worship and stuff, where you really get the legs underneath your spiritual life happens in a small group setting. It's where you grow closer to the students and your relationship with them, get to know them, and you actually begin to do life with them, walking side by side and investing in each other as you guys walk toward God together. By far, we've seen more fruit spiritually out of that element of youth ministry than any other.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to get the boys to develop habits and spiritual disciplines that are going to last with them through their college years and into their adult lives. So we focus on just the basics, spending time in God's Word, spending time in prayer, spending time committing God's Word to memory, and spending time with fellow believers discussing and what they're learning, talking about spiritual things and praying together.
To me, one of the most exciting things going on right now with the youth ministry of Suburban is that over the last 6 years been building the structure of the program, and between youth group and small groups and student leadership opportunities and service opportunities, the youth of Suburban really have the opportunity to grow in their relationship with God if they're willing to apply themselves. And over the next couple of years, we're going to be able to start implementing the real vision behind the youth program, which is to put a focus really in 3 areas. One is to continue the current programs with constant evaluation and looking to grow those in even more effective ways. Another one is to have our students engage more in the ministry aspect of things, asking them the question is, what is your ministry, and helping them find what their ministry is and practical ways for them to be serving God. And the third thing is that we're going to begin starting to look at how we can reach out to our community in more effective ways, now that we have something for them to come to here at Suburban.